Thanks to PhotoWings, and thank you also for your patience as I work out the technical glitches on this for the first time. So yes, hello and welcome everybody to this VII Insider event. I'm very pleased to be introducing you to our guest today. We've got Oyewole Lawal from Nigeria, and Oyewole was born in Lagos, and he's a photographer, visual artist, and is focused mainly on storytelling through his photography. He has a background in sociology from the University of Lagos, and his style, he says, is influenced by sociological theories, such as functionalism and Marxism. He uses photography to critique and explore social issues, aiming to document the complexities of human experience and the evolving dynamics between individuals and their environments. And by doing so, he brings attention to marginalized voices and challenges stereotypes. He's going to present today some of his work on environment and social storytelling, specifically Guardian of Gaia, which is his work at a mega city garbage dump in Lagos. Already, Oyewole has won a number of distinguished grants, including the prestigious Eugene Smith Memorial Fund Student Grant and the 2024 Emerging Lens Fellowship Grant. So he's got interesting work to show us already, and I think an interesting career ahead of him. So we're lucky to catch you early in your career here. You've been working for about 4 years, I think, as a photographer in different ways. So maybe you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, Oyewole. You know, what drew you? I think you started first with a mobile phone.
Yes.
To get yourself interested in photography, and you've since moved to using digital SLR cameras. But explain to us maybe a little bit about somebody such as yourself, how you were drawn to photography. What was it about photography that captured your imagination and made you want to pursue this as a passion, as you've described it, but also as a career? Tell us a little bit about that.
Before my final year, I was in 300 level. Me and my friends, we tried creating a model agency. So we invite photographers to come take pictures, but the way they edit wasn't so pleasing to us. And most of my friends, they had skill that they were doing. So I said I wanted to do photography for fashion, actually. And my mom is a fashion designer. So I tried joining photography classes and stuff, but they are actually expensive. So I tried attending a 2 weeks church program on skill acquisition. And after the 2 weeks program, I met a friend that was actually eloquent in photography, and it made me realize that photography is beyond just fashion. And he said I should probably think deep about my sociological perspective of life in general. So like making theories, because I am a type of person that while we're in class, I try to make sociological theories in relation to my own perspective, So my friend advised me if I could imbibe photography instead of writing theories, I could like use photography as a theoretical way to make a statement in society in general. So that was one of the reasons why I diverted from fashion photography in general to documentary and storytelling. And now I'm probably moving into the artistical part of photography in general, just to explore also.
Interesting, because there is a trend in a lot of photographers in your part of the world, in West Africa in particular, that are very much focused on on fashion, on style, on branding kind of photography. But you chose to move away from that because of your background in sociology and some of these other things that you're talking about. And what was it that really made you want to get into the documentary side? You said why you wanted to move away from the fashion side of things, but when you think about a story like the one you're going to present to us today, what was it? You said your theories, your approach. What is it that you want to be able to say through the kind of work you're going to show us today, but probably also work you'll do in future? What is it that you want to be able to say about your own society, really, and the world we live in?
Coming from an humble background, um, it's quite something that I experience daily, marginalization, and um so it's more like me exploring my own self in the society, because I see people like me around, and it tends to like tell me, yeah, this is my story still. This is the kind of thing I should fight against, because I'm more of a Marxist. So like I don't really like the whole hierarchy in society in general. So I tend to like use my camera instead of writing some theoretical stories. I use my camera to show proofs of what is really happening in the society and how things can probably change, or just to make a statement for me to provoke someone. It might not be me that will bring the change, but for me to provoke someone to bring about change in the society.
Okay. And so, what made you decide to do this particular story that you're going to be showing us today at the dump? Where,
Um,
this is a marginalized group of people who are picking
yeah.
through other people's rubbish and recycling and making a living from that. Tell us a little bit about what drew you to that particular place, and I can understand a little bit as well because I've also photographed there in the past, and it's an interesting place. There's a whole microcosm of society in that
Yes.
location. Right?
Um, while I was in school, we in Unilag, in University of Lagos, we have a mini dump site. So I have a friend there actually. He's late now. So I do go there to visit him, and sometimes we hang out to take some. We talk, and he was older than me, so it's more like he was like an elder brother that I had in school then. But he died in my final year. So, and luckily, or should I say coincidentally, I got into the dump site. I slept over on the dump site once due to some personal issues. I slept on the dump site for once, and I saw the way they were, and it brought back the memory of who my friend was, because he was really hardworking. Most times I'm the one that would drag him off work that we should go and smoke somewhere and just chill out. So it was more like me seeing him again. And that triggered a part of me to just tell their story and like tell who he was when he was alive and who they are. Because these people also, the people I documented, are majorly migrants from the northern part of Nigeria that also came into Lagos because of greener pasture, because they want something to feed. They want to feed. They want to have a living, and that actually triggered. And also, like, most people in Nigeria don't really see them as um good people or responsible people, or there's this stigma on them already. Once they are doing the
Mm.
job, they are probably seen as people that just pick waste, or people that are steal from other people's compounds. So I just wanted to lend my voice, use my camera to tell their story and make people realize they are also human beings, and they are as important as the doctors and the lawyers that we have as occupation.
So why don't we have a look at some of these characters and people that you met, and you can tell us some of the stories behind the images. If you'd like to pull up that PDF of files and share your screen, we can take the conversation a little bit deeper into those visuals, so you can really show us what you're describing to us now with your words.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll share my screen now.
Yes, please.
Oh, can you see my screen?
Yes. Make sure it's on full screen, and we'll be able to see everything. That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So take us through this process. How did you, well, if you have a presentation that you've prepared, why don't you just go ahead and talk us through it, and then we can come back to
Okay.
different things.
Okay.
So your biography we've
So
had, just take us through. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's my this is actually my first project before I came into climate change or documentary generally. I'm more of a street photographer, which I am still a street photographer. So I got the opportunity to exhibit my work in University of Lagos, which was my first exhibition, and I was told to snap Lagos, like things around Lagos. So I documented the regular life in Lagos, and that the exhibition also triggered like also encouraged me to go further. I documented my family too. I like snapping my family. Sometimes they get tired of me. And from here I have done other projects, but from here I realized I needed to do something really like something more strong. That's something that I can make a statement in society. So Guardian of Gaia came to be. Yep. So this is Olusosan, the one of the biggest dump sites in Africa actually. And people live here, people sleep here, people eat, people this is some people's town. This is where they reside.
Yeah, it's almost like there's like a whole village that lives on site, isn't there?
Yes, yes. And some of the waste actually they are already decomposing, they are turning into plants, and that's what you can see actually. This is Aliyu. He was the first person that spoke to me. I was going to the dump site for like 3 weeks with my camera, snapping just the regular place, the waste truck dump waste. And he met me, he spoke to me that he doesn't want to be photographed at first. I asked him why, and he said no, that he doesn't like camera. That after snapping, we'll probably just leave and we'll go our separate ways. He won't see me again and stuff. So I spoke to him because he speaks pidgin. He was one of the first people that I spoke to that speak pidgin, and he was all friendly with me. After talking to him, telling him what I wanted to do, how I want to do it, and I was all sincere with him. I made him realize who he was, and he was open to me. He even invited me to his house, to his bunk. That's Boka, that's what they call their house. So he invited me there, and he introduced me to his friends. He made me like one of the family there, because I'll go there, I eat with him sometimes on the side. I eat with him, we joke around. Sometimes, to be honest, sometimes he even buy drinks for me. Like he buy drink that I should take, I should chill. So we're more of friends. He also brought back the memory of Nuru, my late friend. So we connected fully.
Right, right. Okay. And so how long, just no, you can keep going through the pictures as we talk, but how long did you spend working on this project, just so people have an idea?
I've at the moment I've spent over 7 months now on this project.
Right, right. And this is the selection of work. And I think one of the things as we go through them, what I noticed is that there's a very nice feeling of intimacy. There's a feeling that the people that you are photographing and interacting with have really accepted you into their space. And that's something that when we're talking about photography and how it works, especially in this kind of situation, you can't do the work that you're doing without their
Yeah.
collaboration. Really, it does become a collaboration, right?
Yeah, actually, because I have some pictures, maybe I'll show after this slide. I had to like change the background for some of them in order to, because they'll tell you they don't want to see the dump site. They want to be in a mansion. So I change the background on Photoshop for them, and I print it and I give it to them as a gift from me to them.
And I think that's important. That's one of the things I try to do when I'm working in these places as well, is to have an exchange with people, so that you're not just taking things away from them, right? You're not just
Yeah,
asking for pictures. That if you can go back and give them the prints that they want. Tell us about
yeah.
this picture. This is a really nicely composed image with a lot of different things going on.
So this is Sheffield is the accountant on he keeps record of the old transaction that take place on dump site. When they buy, how they buy. The person sleeping beside him, he just came back. He actually just came back from dump site. He did a night shift. So he just came back from dump site and he also he had to rest. And person behind, I don't know him. I don't know him, but I know he came into my picture and I saw the composition and I felt like okay, I should just press my shutter because Sheffield was already joking with me. We were talking. I was joking with him that he didn't invite me to eat. So we're joking around. Then I saw the frame and I just took the picture.
Um, yeah, this is a very nice frame, really nice frame. Did you know when you took it that you had something special?
Oh, yes, I think I saw it before pressing the shutter. I saw
Uh-huh.
the frame already.
Nice, nice work. Carry on.
Yeah, they actually before sorting in their house, before taking it to the Boca where they stay, they actually sort also on the dump site. They try to pick what they really want, and so they don't carry everything off the dump site. They pick because at the end of the day, we all are more materialistic. That's why we buy a lot and waste fill the dump site. So these people they see value in what we throw away and they take them for themselves and also to sell for recycling purposes. Most
Right,
of the time they pick plastics and iron and other things.
right. And yeah, nice. No, carry on. Keep going.
It was coming back from dump site. He has finished sorting and he was heading to his Boca where he stays also with Aliu. It stays around Aliu environment. I actually picked a place on the dump site. Not that I can't document everywhere. I won't get the connection because it's not everybody that will open their door to you for you to take a picture of them. So I connected with Aliu environment. So everybody there were all open for me to get a picture. So it was going back to the Boca after picking waste from the dump site.
So when you're talking with people and they've said that they're not comfortable being photographed, what is the process that you go through to make them feel comfortable so that in the end they do feel open to being photographed with you?
Um, and before I really don't. If you tell me no, I move on. But I have one of my mentor in Nigeria. He told me I should try ask them why. I should try. I'm not forcing them to get the picture, but I should just in a cordial way. I should ask them why shouldn't I take a picture? I'm not here for a threat. I'm not trying to because they don't know where the picture is going to, so it's not their fault. So I try as much as possible to make them see that I'm just coming as clean as possible to just take this or because I want to pass a message across. And if they are still interested, they'll tell me yes. If they are not, I move on. Then I move on to take someone else.
No, sure, sure. Okay, continue.
Yeah, this is Sheffield that I showed you earlier. This is keeping record of the old transaction that is taking place. And this is Malam Ali. I've forgotten his name, but I know he's Malam something. He also like picks waste. He goes for a night duty. So in the morning he brings the waste and sorts what he brings to the old to the environment before giving it to their boss, because they tend to have someone that brought them over from the north majorly to tell them, okay, this is where you stay, this is the job you are going to be doing for now till maybe you see something else to do. So he's sorting his own waste. So he's going to give his boss in order for him to get his pay for the day.
And did you figure out the whole economic structure of how the recycling process works with these waste pickers? So these guys collect what they want to recycle, what they want to sell. Obviously, there's a market for it. They gather it, they sort it. What happens then? They take it to a place and somebody buys certain bits of plastic or bits of metal, and then they take it somewhere else to be worked on. Just to tell us a little bit about how that works.
So they are not actually connected to any recycling company, or they don't even have access to majorly the recycling company. They are working, it's like me doing a 9 to 5 job with a boss that is connected to another agency, or he has a contract with another agency. So their own job is just pick the waste and bring it to the boss, and the boss pays. Then the boss himself is the connection to the recycling company that will pay him for what his workers has brought together. And the recycling company this particular project is still ongoing anyway. So I feel there's still much more flesh to add to it. So the recycling company itself will then collect the whole plastic for recycling use. But aside that, they are not really into the whole recycling. Theirs is just to they are like the middlemen between their boss and the waste itself.
Okay. So did you document that part of the process? Like what happens to the plastic once it leaves the dump?
Oh, it's a project I'm doing at the moment. So
Okay.
it's probably at the residency I'm doing is going to actually bring that to light.
So there's more to this story than we're going to be seeing today.
Yes, actually.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, keep showing us some more. Let's see what else you have.
So this is the plastic and iron they pick. Some are very dirty and some are actually kind of neat. And this is their boss. His name is Eba. Is the one in charge of the whole people that are working with him, the waste miners, because I'm trying my possible best to stop calling them scavengers, because I feel it's more dehumanizing. So I'm announcing it for the first time actually online. So I'm going to definitely change it on my page and stuff, from scavengers to waste miners.
Waste miners, that's what they like to be.
Yes,
That's how
because
they.
I feel like they are more of they see waste as an opportunity, the same way a gold miner sees gold as an opportunity too.
Yeah.
So this is Eba. This is Aliu. He just had his bait after the whole job for the day. He wanted to go in. He was actually going out. He was actually going out to somewhere big actually.
But this is a nice moment, right? Because when we're talking
Yeah,
about how to build a story, you've got like the wide shots, the portraits, and various elements, and this is like a nice detail, right?
yeah, actually. So they don't have TV personally in their houses the way you have your own TV and you watch what you want to watch, but they have a center, like a place where they tend to watch Indian movies majorly that are translated to Hausa language. So they watch the frictional movies that someone can jump from the first story building to like the fifth story building, and I've sat down like a couple of times to watch the movie, and I'll be like, wow, like how you just jump. And so it's more like that's what they like. So most of the time it's either love story movie, or they watch fictional movies of action fighting and stuff.
Good, good. Yeah, no, it's a nice moment.
So on that same dump site, they have an hospital, like a clinic, a place where they go for care. because most times they can't go to the regular street pharmacy. It's quite more expensive than what they have here. So they come here to either they have injury on the dump site, or they have like personal injury. Like him, actually, he had an infection he had an infection from a sexual transmitted infection, actually. And he came here to get some injection for that. The doctor actually told me to cover his face so he doesn't show, because he's still a student also, which I won't say his name, but that's why his face actually is in shadow.
Okay. And is this clinic like a regulated one, or it's just like
It's
unregulated?
it, it's not regulated.
Okay.
It's 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 illegal, but he's also trying to save life also, if we look at it, because these people can't afford the outside
Yeah.
pharmacy, they can
Mhm.
hospital.
Right, right. Because this is an important element, right? Like when you're looking at
Yeah. Yes,
this
actually.
story, not just this one picture, but when you're building up this project, you have to look at all the parts, like you have, like the homes and the entertainment that people have, but also, this is a difficult working environment. They're working around waste, they're working around some toxic things, maybe unhygienic things. So it's, and sometimes burning stuff. So there can be lots of health issues, right? And health problems that people have to deal with in these situations. So it's definitely one of the elements that's worth exploring, like you've done in this picture, as part of the overall story.
So most times the female don't really pick waste at Olusosan. I don't know about other dump sites, but at Olusosan they don't really go into the waste part to pick. They come to buy, because they are also kind of connected to the recycling company. So they come to buy or pick any kind of waste they want. They will tell these waste miners to go search for the particular waste they want, and they'll come and they'll pay them, and they'll get what they really want in return. And they scale it in order to know the price, because they charge based on kilometer, yeah, km. 1 kilometer, I think now is 1,000 naira. So they
Hmm.
scale it, and they tend to like also flesh out what they really want to buy. And most times this particular one comes for plastic. Like I've seen her a couple of times coming
Okay.
to purchase plastic from Eba. That's the boss himself.
Okay.
And every morning, actually, sorry, I have cold, so I need to clean my nose. Sorry.
It's okay.
Every morning, the same way we have breakfast, they also do they are like they are just like everybody, actually. They are doing their own job too. So the same way you have breakfast, I have breakfast, the same way they do. And every morning there's this cocoa woman, she sells pap, a particular kind of pap they call cocoa, and akara and bread. So every morning they'll do that on that same dump site, and she will sell to this sweet. Actually very, very nice. So, and she's also a very nice person, actually, because before I could point the camera at her, couple of times. Why do you want to take my picture? Why should I allow you to take my picture? And I'll talk to her that, Mommy, I'm a student. I'm a child. I try to tell her that I'm very young and stuff, and she'll just laugh and she'll joke around and say, okay, okay, don't worry, just take it, and just take what you want to take, and she'll laugh too. So she's friendly also. So that's what I'm trying to say. And she's like a mother to most of them there too.
Hmm.
Like she's very, very. Sometimes they don't have money to eat. she'll tell them to come and take, and they'll just pay later. So it's more like she's also doing them a favor if they don't have any money to
And it sounds like from how you're
get
describing
something
this,
to.
it sounds like how from the way you're describing these interactions that, you know, one of the ways that you manage to get people to trust you and to accept you is to use a bit of, you know, sense of humor and being playful with them as well,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, because African culture in general, you have to actually be respectful, be playful, and also know your boundaries at the same time, actually. So I think that is one of the things that has also like imbibed in me. So it's more like me just doing what I do on a regular day.
Mm-hmm. Good, good. No, it's nice.
This is the waste they will fill this truck, and they carry it to a recycling company for for the plastics, the waste to be reused.
I think you need to change. Ah, there we go. Now we got it. Okay, yep. Okay.
So these are actually not Northerners. They are Yoruba people like me. They are from the West. And they also like they are young, they want to make money for themselves. They don't
Mm-hmm.
want to stay in their parents' house to wait for mommy or daddy to provide for them.
Right.
So they also try to pick waste and to feed themselves and fund themselves. And in on Sunday, every Sunday, they go there, they instead of picking waste, they go play football at the back of the dump site.
Okay.
So I connected with them. We played ball together. I carried my camera. I photographed them, and we still have connection actually, because when I'm planning to go to their place on Sunday to greet them, because I feel like I'm also very much young. I'm not yet old, so I have this cordial relationship with them that we are together and we're friends. And they are open also to me photographing them.
That's good. That's good. I'll just remind people who are following along here that if you have questions as we're going for Oyewole or myself, please just type them into the Q&A box and we'll come to them. Carry on with your next images.
And you might not be able to move your house. I might not be able to move my house, but they are actually their house. If the waste gets like the dump site is getting really, really full, that's Olusosan actually is getting really, really full due to our behavior to waste and to consumption. So, but to live on this place, they are trying to be like have. So they will move their house away from when the waste is getting full to their part. They carry their houses to somewhere, maybe somewhere that is less of waste for them to be able to have a place to sleep. And so their house is movable. This particular day, I was even surprised because this was my first time seeing this actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really, really surprised that wow, that you could move your house, and they are all hustling actually. I feel that's just the fact. So they're trying to make a place for them to rest and be happy with themselves.
Right, right. There is one question that's coming through, a couple of questions actually, and uh, there's a C Murray is saying, Oyewole, you have such a friendly demeanor. It's obvious how you build trust and connection quickly. Have any of the people you have met and photographed expressed interest in learning more about photography? It seems like you would be an inspiration to them, and maybe as a teacher. And thanks for sharing. That's from Cindy Murray.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Has anybody ever, when you show them the pictures or the work that you're doing, do they ever say, "Oh, that's interesting. Can you show me how to do it?"
Oh, I don't think I have people around me that are quite interested in the kind of photography I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people I move with, they are also into the photography I'm doing, and they are also great in their own way, and they have good eyes also to photography. So it's more like I meet with people that we impact ourselves and we grow together. So I have a couple of friends and mentors that are even my age mate or a bit older than me, and they are always open to be ready to help or assist me. So I would actually say I'm kind of lucky to
Yeah.
meet people that are in Africa also that are actually open to me to gain and also give a little that I know, because I think I'm still very much at the basic of photography.
But
If
I
I'm
think
to
I think what Cindy means is like the people in these photographs here, for example, at the dump, have any of them ever looked at your pictures and thought that oh, they would like to be able to do that too?
no, I've not encountered that.
Okay. Okay. Um,
And they are always happy to. They are always happy to undo the cameras. But for them
yeah.
to come to me that I should teach them, I've not encountered that yet.
Okay. There's another question here from Kate Manzo. And Kate asks, does sociological theory inform the choice of subject only or the composition of the image as well?
I feel it's both the subject one and also the composition, because I don't think I photograph them in a dehumanized way. I try to make them look great, actually, even in their death clothes or in their dirty clothes. I still try as much as possible to make them look great. And I think there's this saying that you have to be human first before you become a photographer. So I feel like all of that is also in a sociological way. If you look at, they are meant to study environment and also understand human in relation to the environment. So I feel like both the subject and the frame I'm taking has a relationship to my sociological ideology.
Okay, thank you. And Ted Ostrowski asks, such an interesting cultural difference. Here in rural Canada, we go to the dump to watch bears scavenging, but people do visit to scavenge as well. And he asks, are the dumps in Nigeria places where scavenging is encouraged? Because here it can be illegal to do so. So in Canada, it's illegal to pick waste in some of these locations. What is the situation in Nigeria? Is it encouraged by the officials, or is it actually illegal but allowed, or how does it work?
So it's a two-way thing. There's a bit of encouragement for waste mining to take place, and there's also a bit of not so all interested in waste mining to take place. But I think our Lagos State waste agency has actually tried as much as possible to also incorporate them in waste mining and also encourage them to also like pick waste in general. So I feel like outside the dump site it's a different story entirely, but on the dump site they are allowed to pick waste because they will pay, I think, 300 naira for them to have access to the waste in particular. And after picking, you can take your waste to wherever you want to take it.
Got it. Thank you. We can take a look at the next image then.
So, okay. During the rain, this is plastic that suffer for the rain. So this is Aliyu. You- This is where he sleeps actually.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see he has a power bank. So it's not like he doesn't have money at all or he's starving or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still he also makes money. This is how they bait actually. And before nightfall, they tend to look for places to, they have spaces to charge. So they'll pay a token to charge their device, either radio, touch lights, batteries, phone batteries also at night. So when some of us are sleeping, some people are also still working. at night, these people like they have shifts. Some people do day, some people do night. According to what Ali told me, they said it's very easy to get more plastics at night because they are not really dumping waste around this period of time. So it's quite very much easy to pick plastics at night. So that's why most of them around Ali's environment tend to pick plastics at night
Okay,
instead of
we've got a little bit of a problem with the connection there, dropping slightly.
this is
But we're hearing that.
Ali is a Muslim, so there's a small mosque, and
Uh-huh.
also aside the fact that yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. I think there's a slight delay.
I'm a musician. I am definitely going to be having a. I'm not going to be the musician though, but I have something to do. Maybe when I have opportunity to exhibit my work, his music will be playing at background of the exhibition, just to show what his talent is. So it's more like a collaboration with him actually.
Nice, nice.
And this particular day, I was surprised because they were all sent off. They, they sent them out of the dump site this particular day because of they said they burnt some tires at the back of a company that is at the back of the dump site. So their punishment was that they are all leaving the dump site. It was a threat though, but I was scared for them because I know these people are from a very, very far place, away from Lagos, and they are definitely have to look for money to get a place or either travel back to where they are from. But I stood there for a while. Eventually, they allowed them in back. It was more like a punishment for the back of the company anymore.
Right, I see. So
And
take us through these last couple of pictures because we've got about a little over 10 minutes left in this session. And I want to just ask you a couple more questions, and hopefully we'll get a few more questions from the audience members about your work, because I'm sure there are some. So feel free to write those in the Q&A there. But go ahead and take us through these last few images, and then we'll get to a few last points.
okay, this is another doctor that is cleaning the wound for one of us that had the injury from the dump site actually. He had a cut, so they were cleaning his injury. And this is Aliu before he left to Kano. He wanted to buy some attires for his family in Kano. So he wanted to get some things for his father and also his parents because he's also still living with his parents actually. This is
So
their transportation.
what did
Yeah.
he buy them in the end? Did he buy this blue outfit or?
Yeah, it was actually the blue he got.
Okay.
He asked me and I like blue, so I told him I think blue would be nice, and he said okay, okay, and he collected that.
Okay.
This is the transportation they use for traveling to the north.
Right.
This is one of my friend. I came across the rose on the dump site, and I asked him, can he place it on his ear and also hold it? And he said yes, because he was actually going out of the dump site. He had dressed well actually, and he was about to step out. So I told him, can I get a picture? And I liked his hair, the way he dyed the side of the hair, and he said, oh yes, and he allowed me, and I printed the picture for him actually, and he liked the picture, and I also like this is my best picture because of the rose. I like love, so This is the end of the whole chapter.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
So, Santi Posa is one of the people watching this evening, is asking whether you wear a mask at all. You can keep some of the pictures up in the background if you like,
Yeah.
up to you. But do you wear a mask ever when you're on the dump? Just for health reasons, because it's important to protect yourself, from fumes or anything like that.
I wish I thought that way, because I felt like wearing a mask will also create a block for me, actually.
Yeah,
They are not wearing masks, so why should I wear the masks when they are not? And they are surviving. They didn't die. They didn't have any medical issue so far. So I feel like wearing a mask automatically is already creating a class to me, because it feels like, okay, because I'm a photographer, I should wear a mask and take my own picture, which I feel like is kind of, I'm just trying to maneuver my way if I wear a mask just to get the picture.
fair enough, fair enough. And tell me, has this work been published anywhere, or what are your plans for the work once you're feeling like you're close to completing the project? I mean, where do you feel you are, first of all, now? How far along?
Oh, to be honest, I feel I'm not yet at the middle, but
Okay,
I feel like I've started the project. Let me
yeah.
put it that way, because there are other layers to the project. There's the fashion layout that I've started working with my younger sister. She's a fashion designer. We're trying to do a collaboration on them being the model to do a runway of them showing their the clothes they wear, in using recycled clothes, and encouraging them also that aside picking up waste, they can also do other things. And also, I'm in Ghana at the moment. Like, I've traveled to Ghana and I've done some couple of projects that my residency are also in it. So everything is, and I've not still gone, because I'm supposed to also like travel to where they are from, like follow Ali back home, document him. And so there are still a lot of layers to be covered. But I feel like I've started, so there's no pressure. It's a step-by-step thing. Over the time, I will definitely finish one day.
One day. What do you see as the place for these works to live when the project is completed? Do you see it as a magazine project, a book, an exhibition, a combination of those things? What would be your ideal situation?
Um, I feel like when I started, I was also asked where would I like my project to be, and I said a book. But I feel before a book, because if I'm to wait for a book, it's going to take a very long time for me to create a very strong book of the whole project. So I feel I could do an exhibition and also publish some of my works of this particular project. And furthermore, later on, I could eventually go into a book for it, and it could also be used for a research purpose, or maybe for people to see, for record keeping, because I'm sure in the next 20 to 30 years, there'll be solutions to waste, because people are already doing some research in order to curb waste. And I feel like in the next 20 years, my book should also be part of the books that will be used for maybe research, or maybe to know the past of how waste was, and also maybe sociological for some sociological reasons, or some sociological theories in relation to climate change.
And when you, at the beginning of our talk today, you were talking about how you want your images to be able to help promote some kind of change. What kind of change would you be hoping for in the situations that you've shown us today?
I feel like my project so far, it's majorly talking about the waste miners, for people to stop, people in Nigeria, because I started in Nigeria. I don't know anywhere else aside Nigeria and maybe Ghana at the moment. And I feel like the way they see waste miner is totally wrong. It should be changed, actually, because they are also as important as our doctors, our lawyers, and they might not be in the conference room that we have climate change stories or meeting, but these people are actually the one fighting climate change. They are the real fighters of climate change, actually, if you look at it very well, because the company recycling, they really don't have to go to the dump site to pick plastics by themselves. These people will be the ones to enter the old dirty water waste that we ourselves and throw away, to pick what is valuable and what can still be used to reduce waste. They might not know they are doing that, but I feel like they are very much important. So I feel my project and my pictures should be able to speak for them and also fight against the view of how people see them in Nigeria at the moment.
Interesting, interesting. So you're not interested in changing so much the conditions that they're working in, but more people's perception of these individuals as respected members of society.
So I feel there's this statement of value. So if you tend to see people as humans, you tend to have more value for them. Like, so the automatically, when you start seeing these people as humans and less as maybe criminals or maybe migrants, you would start paying them well. And when you start paying them well, it automatically show off on how they live their life in general.
Right, right, right. And for you, what is the hardest part of this project? What is the biggest challenge that you've faced over the last 6 months while developing this story?
I would say one, the fact that I have to pass through language barrier because I don't speak Hausa. I speak Yoruba and English. But I've tried as much as possible to learn Hausa a bit. And also the fact that they have to keep convincing people that you're actually innocent, which is not their fault, because some photographers just go to the dump site to just take them walking, and you see the picture somewhere else that they are not even aware of. The call I'm having now, Ali knows about it. We still had the call conversation yesterday that he said congratulations to me, and I sent his picture to him that, see, your picture is on 7 Academy front page, and he was so happy. So I feel like when we start relating to people, it was a barrier because other people must have either lied to them or do something. So trying to make people trust you is quite really, really stressful. But as a
Hmm.
photographer, you have to keep doing that for
Yeah.
people to actually trust you.
Well, that's, for me, that's what photography is about, right? It's about trust. It's about relationships between you and your subjects, between the subjects and their environment, and then between those of us who are looking at your pictures afterwards. And you've shown us some really interesting work this evening, and I'm excited to see what else you produce on this project in the months and maybe even years ahead, that you'll keep putting this project together. So if I don't see any more questions in the list at the moment, I'll give people a minute or two to add any questions if they have them. But for now, I wanted to thank you, first of all, for doing this work, and then also for taking the time to share it with us today. I think everyone is interested to see your approach and the resulting images, and we all have a better understanding of the life on this particular dump, and the biggest one on the continent of Africa, and the waste pickers, the waste miners, as you call them, as they like to be called, what their lives are like, and I think what you've done in this amount of time so far is a really nice body of work. There's some images here that really stand out. In particular, the one I like of the guy who is eating the accountant, while the other one's sleeping beside him. That's a beautifully composed picture. So congratulations to you on this work, and I'll just check if there are any more questions. There are one or two more. Richard Ott is asking, what do the hand signs mean? I'm not sure what hand. Oh, the hand signs in the last picture that you're showing there. Maybe they're just making gestures in this picture that's on the screen now.
Oh, they are just posing.
Yeah, they're just posing, yeah?
Yeah, just is it this?
The last
Yeah,
picture, yeah. So no specific
they're
significance.
just posing. They're just posing.
Okay, so they're just posing. Okay, and Ted in Canada again says thank you. He volunteers as an English as a second language teacher in Canada, and he said this presentation gives me more insight into some of his Nigerian students and the context of the country they come from. So again, Oyewole, thank you so much for this work, and thank you to everyone for joining us, and thank you to Photo Wings and VII Academy and Insider for this event. I will be finishing the session now and closing it down, but it will be available online for anybody who wasn't able to join us today and who has registered for the event. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing more of your work. We'll do another one of these when you have more to show us in future.
Definitely. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Great. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye now.